Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about everything you need to know about these Tapcons, how to use them, what you should put in your kit, what size bit goes with what Tapcon, all of that stuff. So I'm gonna drive right into this. I made up a concrete anchor toolbox probably 2 years back because I have a concrete block home and I'm always trying to put things on the walls, and you need to have a good kit. And I'm going to start this video off. If you're a DIYer, you're just now trying to figure out how to put stuff on your walls, take some time. And the first thing I want you guys to invest in is a combo kit. Makita is what I run. Get the impact driver drill combo and make sure that the drill offers a hammer drill setting. You definitely want to run with a hammer drill over just a standard regular $20 Ryobi, no hammer option. There's nothing wrong with Ryobi. I'm just, you want to make sure you run hammer. DeWalt, I think, sells a nice set. Makita sells a nice set. I'll throw some links down below where you can get them on Amazon. But make sure you invest in a good set of drill drivers, because these are going to make all the world of difference when you're actually trying to get that Tapcon to set and actually hold its anchor. So Tapcons come in two different diameters. They come in a 3/16 diameter, which are the smaller diameter right here. These are the little guys, 3/16 diameter. Then you have your 1/4 inch diameter. And when I'm talking diameter, I'm talking about the thickness of the shank of the screw. So you have two basic thicknesses that are gonna be for your anchor, and they have different pull-out strengths. So I threw the chart down here. This little chart comes with every pack of Tapcons, and it'll tell you basically how much they're going to hold, or how much it's going to take for the force to pull out of a project upward. So if the Tapcon was to be set into this styrofoam downward and tighten down, the pull force, the pull out, is what they're talking about, is if it were to pull straight up on it after it's fully seated. They're not referencing if this thing is in the wall and some of it's sticking out and it pulls down. That's not what that means. It means pull up or pull out. So, give you a rundown on what you want to run. Everything you see on my table here is what's in my kit. Always run with safety glasses. I know I sound like a safety Sally when I'm talking about this stuff, but I did a couple once without safety glasses, and that concrete dust gets in your eye, or you get a piece of that concrete coming up and hits you in the eye. It's not fun. I also run safety glasses with the side protection here for your eye, because you wouldn't believe how many times that stuff can come right here on the side of your eye and get the side of your eye. So good set of safety glasses. I also run them with the gasket on there. I run a good breather. I know right now with the coronavirus stuff going on, it's kind of hard to find breathers, but hopefully that'll subside. I run the standard 3M breather with the pink filters. These are the most aggressive filters you can get. This is what I run on all my breathers. So safety, obviously, always a big concern. Then the other thing you're going to want to get that I don't have on this bench is, you can see here, this is a vacuum hose, and you can see it's been used quite a bit for concrete. A lot of the videos I've seen on YouTube don't go over the fact that you have to get the debris out of the hole after you dig it. So what I like to do is just stick the vacuum on there, shop vac, regular household vacuum, whatever, suck out all the stuff that comes out of suck out all the concrete dust, because what'll happen is it'll backfill into the hole, it'll make the concrete anchor bottom out, and then you'll have an unsuccessful Tapcon. So let's go over some sizes. I started to dive into that. So 3/16 diameter are your small ones. They're gonna run, and I use always hex head right here. These are hex head Tapcons. I always run the hex heads. They're gonna run a 1/4 inch socket. So these little things are great. I'll put a link to these also. These go right into your drill driver combo. They pop right into your impact driver, and then you can put a socket right on the end so you can run your impact when you put them in. That's what I always set my Tapcons with, an impact, but you can use a drill. So 1/4 inch socket, and then they use the 5/32 concrete bit. Now the depth that you want to run when you're drilling out your Tapcon is a good rule of thumb, and this doesn't have to be exact, but a good rule of thumb is, if you want to grab a piece of blue tape, if your Tapcon's going to be in here into the hole this far, I would run the hole about 1/4 of an inch deeper than the actual Tapcon's going to go into. And that's controversial. Some people say go all the way, some people not, but go a little bit deeper than the hole, because you will get some debris that may fall back into the hole, and that gives you a little bit of leeway, so the Tapcon will anchor. So 5/32 concrete bit on the 3/16 diameter Tapcons. Now moving over to the 1/4 inch diameter Tapcons, you can see where it says 1/4 inch here on the box back here, 1/4 inch diameter Tapcons. And just to help you out here with the numbers, you'll see on the box it says 1/4 inch by 2 3/4. 1/4 inch means the diameter of the shank. 2 3/4 means the dimension of the actual overall length of the Tapcon. So 1/4 inch diameter Tapcon, 5/16 socket. So run a 5/16 socket on that when you're driving it in, right there. And then you're going to use the 3/16 inch bit. So that's the thicker bit. So, you know, rule of thumb is if you got 2 bits in your box right here, thinner bits, smaller Tapcons, bigger bit, larger Tapcon. So that's going to be the only 2 sizes you're ever going to need to run with for your standard Tapcon concrete anchors. So what I use to mark up on masonry are these. I've been screaming about these things forever. I love these markers. It's essentially just a Sharpie, but the Milwaukee Inkzals, these are really good because the tips of the actual marker don't fade out as fast as like a Sharpie would. So I buy a pack of 2 of these. I'll throw a link down below. Throw those in your toolbox, or you can run with a standard pencil, but it's easier to see the Inkzal marker. Yeah, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and actually set a couple of Tapcons to kind of show you how to do it, and kind of the motions you need to go through. And then also in my box that I don't have up here is I always throw in some washers. So sometimes you may want to fatten up the head of your Tapcon, given if the surface the head is mounting to just might not be enough kind of surface, I guess you could say. Run a washer at the head of it. That'll give you much more bite on whatever's holding onto the wall. So yeah, without further ado, I'll stop rambling. Let's get some Tapcon set in the wall, and I'll show you how this goes. Okay, I'm over here working on these storm shutters, and I have to install some more hardware here on the wall, so this is a perfect time for me to show you how to set a couple of Tapcons. Okay, so here's the spot that my block of wood needs to go, right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark out my hole, which I know to be right here, just like that. Use the Inkzal. You can see it stands out real nice against the concrete. No, not paid by any of these guys to say this stuff, just stuff I like to use. So let's go ahead and get our first hole started here. So I'm going to try to do it this way so you guys can kind of see the whole process of how I do this. So drill set to hammer mode, got the proper bit in here. Let's go ahead and drive our hole. See, it went all the way through the cinder block there. Didn't put too much force on it to make it blast through the hole. Vacuum it out. Don't skip this step, especially when you're working with horizontal surfaces like concrete slabs. Don't skip that step. Here's the block of wood that I have to attach to the wall. It's already been pre-drilled with a wood bit. So I'm going to go ahead and install the Tapcon just through this so I can feel out where it's going to go back here. So now the tip's protruding out. I'll line it up into the hole where the Tapcon is bored out. And now with an impact gun and the 5/16 bit socket, and you can see how nice and tight that gets that. You can almost see that the washer kind of wants to bend inward. That's how you know you got a good force on that, and that's not going to go anywhere. Tap it out a little bit, it's not going to move. So now what I'll do is I'll demonstrate how to do another one right here, and I'll show the whole process. Drill out the wood, then install the Tapcon. Okay, so I know the second one is going to go right here. Take out the masonry bit. Goes without saying, you can't drill wood with masonry bits. Don't do it. You'll dull your masonry bit real fast. Use a nice wood bit. I use Irwin. You guys can use whatever ones you like. DeWalt's good too. I know my hole's going to go here, so obviously don't start trying to push the bit through the masonry. I know that that's through. Stopped right at the masonry. Now, here's the problem you're going to run into. These standard bits, once I'm come through here, I'm not going to have enough to actually bore the right length hole. So what you're going to want to do is get yourself some longer bits like these when you're in the big box store or on Amazon or wherever. Make sure you get some longer bits. I'll put a link down below to this one. And this way you can go all the way through and you know you'll have the right bore size. So I'm going to install this one now. And then now you can drill your hole out for your Tapcon. And I always back the drill out a little bit, let some of the dust out. I know that one went all the way through. And again, make sure you vacuum out the hole. Now you can drive your Tapcon in. Just like that. And you can really tell when you have a good bite on the Tapcon because you'll feel resistance on your impact or your drill, however you decide to do it. I like to use an impact. You'll feel resistance. You'll also see the media kind of suck into the substrate. So visual cues, if you're using washers like I am, watch for your washer to bend and then also watch for your media to suck into the substrate. Once that's happened and you know it's good and tight, you could stop. The more Tapcons you run, the more you'll get a feel of how that gun should feel on the back of the head. So practice with a few, but that's how you drive in Tapcons into masonry. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you have any questions, pipe them down below. Like I said, I'll put some links to some of this stuff on Amazon so you can grab it before hurricane season. And remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Get you in the next video. Later.